Have you ever looked at your dog and known something was off, but couldn't quite figure out what? It's a heavy, sinking intuition. The challenge is entirely biological. Since dogs don't have the capacity for spoken language, they have to rely on their physical state and everyday behavior to do all the talking. Because we naturally look for human signals of sickness, we often miss these subtle canine cues entirely, sometimes until an underlying illness reaches a critical, much harder to treat stage. This illustrates a diagnostic concept called the baseline, your dog's everyday normal state. Catching illness early doesn't require a veterinary degree, just understanding this standard behavior. Once established, tracking deviations is straightforward. When that routine splinters, it points towards 7 critical warning signs. Documenting what your dog looks like on a healthy Tuesday provides a clear point of comparison, allowing you to translate subtle behavioral shifts into clear, objective data. The most immediate baseline deviation to watch for is a sudden loss of appetite. If a dog refuses food for more than 24 hours, it points directly toward issues like an active infection, hidden dental pain, or severe emotional stress. We also have to track what comes out. An isolated incident of vomiting is usually just a reaction to eating something odd. But if frequent vomiting or diarrhea spans more than a full day, that routine digestive glitch elevates to a serious threat. Continuous gastrointestinal distress indicates that the body is actively trying to expel something harmful. The root causes map clearly to internal parasites, sudden food intolerances, or deeper blockages in the digestive tract. Look at this line chart mapping a dog's long-term body mass. Notice the sharp drop into the highlighted deviation zone. Sudden weight loss or unexpected weight gain without changing their daily food portions signals a deeper metabolic issue. Because caloric intake and physical weight are quantifiable metrics, tracking these specific shifts removes the guesswork. They provide objective, undeniable evidence that the body's internal systems are struggling to function properly. Beyond fuel, we need to monitor the battery. When a normally active dog ignores their favorite toys or refuses to go on a daily walk, they are signaling a physical inability to maintain their standard energy levels. There is a common misconception that because dogs naturally sleep heavily, extra long naps are always fine. However, exceeding their specific established baseline of daily rest is actually a major warning sign. This animation shows a battery icon rapidly depleting even while actively connected to a charger. This illustrates what happens when a dog wakes up tired after excessive sleep. Their internal physical reserves are actively draining faster than rest can replenish them. When a dog voluntarily restricts its own movement and playtime, it is deploying a biological defense mechanism. It is deliberately conserving energy in order to fight an unseen internal battle. Then there are acute vitals, starting with respiration. If your dog's breathing becomes unusually fast, slow, or raspy, it constitutes an immediate medical emergency. These respiratory abnormalities point directly to severe, life-threatening conditions impacting lung capacity or the cardiovascular system. Along with physical vitals, we have to evaluate demeanor. Sickness often causes a dog's personality to completely invert from its established psychological baseline. A highly independent dog might suddenly refuse to leave your side. A notoriously calm dog may snap or display aggression, while an affectionate, cuddly pet might retreat under a bed and hide away for hours. Physical pain and vulnerability often project as psychological distress, causing these sudden, drastic shifts in how a dog interacts with the world. This brings us to a final analytical tool we call the cluster rule. As seen in this diagram, isolated data points might just be temporary blips, but when multiple baseline deviations appear simultaneously and connect together, they form a clear, dangerous pattern. Seeing these clusters should validate your instincts. If you notice a loss of appetite occurring alongside heavy sleep and a sudden change in personality, it confirms that initial anxious gut feeling that something is truly wrong. Once you identify a cluster of deviations that persist, the wait-and-see approach is no longer an option. You must consult a veterinarian immediately. The stakes are remarkably high. Early medical detection, driven entirely by an owner accurately observing these baseline shifts, frequently dictates the difference between a full recovery and a fatal outcome. When a dog behaves completely out of the ordinary, they are using their only available language to signal a need for intervention. It is our responsibility to translate that behavior and answer the call.